Well, Disney's succession dilemma continues as CEO Bob Iger signs on for another 2 years at the helm of the media giant, extending his run through 2026. It's not the first time that Iger has delayed succession plans, previously doing so several times during his first tenure. Iger said in a statement with the announcement that he wants to ensure Disney is, quote, strongly positioned, and added that the importance of the succession process cannot be overstated. Rich Greenfield, LightShed media and technology analyst, joins us now to discuss. And Rich, want to pick up the discussion on this idea that the cable business has changed profoundly, and Disney and its competitors, for that matter, are going to have to adapt to that. What can they do? What can Disney do?
Look, I think Disney's got to figure out what it's going to look like. I mean, every media company is facing cord cutting, shifts of television advertising to connected TVs and other platforms. The linear TV business is just under a lot of pressure. And, you know, investors are already asking me this morning, well, who are they selling it to? Like, who wants to buy a linear TV business? That's what's really challenging. I mean, it's one thing to say you want to get rid of ABC or get rid of FX, but who exactly is the buyer of those businesses? I don't have a great answer for that.
Would any of the streamers buy a linear TV business and just take it online?
The problem is the streamers are replacing that linear TV business. They're buying, Amazon's buying the sports right. Like Thursday Night Football used to be on Fox. Now it's on Amazon. So they don't need to buy Fox. They just need to replace Fox. And I think that's the problem is who wants to buy a business that's in secular decline? That's not an easy thing. Like maybe there's a private equity firm that'll look at it as you've seen Apollo obviously step in and buy a lot of TV stations, and I think they've done great with their timing.
We know something about that, Rich.
Hey, look, I just want to be honest. I don't think it was one thing to buy TV stations 3 and 4 years ago, even 5 or 6 years ago, as you saw a lot of consolidation in that space and a lot of cash pulled out of those businesses. Doing it in 2024 and beyond, I'll be honest, good luck.
Rich, what's the long-term overhang to the stock if Disney should not get its succession plans right or communicate that aptly to the street?
I mean, look, I think you have to look at Netflix, right? I mean, look at how Reed Hastings managed succession in the Netflix board. I think it's really disappointing that the Disney board just continues to flounder on succession. I mean, there should be a very clear set of succession, like who is number two. There should be a training process, like just like there is. And you saw what happened at Netflix as they groomed, the next wave of talent to take over for Reed. And Reed has really stepped back now, and you're seeing Greg Peters and Ted Sarandos take the limelight. I just don't understand why this is so hard for Disney. And I think it really makes you question, does the board need to change? Like, is this may be less of a Bob Iger problem and more of a Disney board problem.
Is that a bearish indicator for the stock?
Look, the bearish indicator for the stock right now is, other than theme parks, and even theme parks are softening, but every part of their business is facing real headwinds. And you heard Iger this morning say it is worse than he expected when he came back. And I think that's sort of the challenge that, when Iger left in 2019 or 2020, but off of an incredible 2019, things were as good as they could get. The content was at an all-time high. Now the content cycle, I mean, I can't remember in my 30-year career covering Disney, I can't remember a time when the content was this, title after title is just not working. Like the content engine of Disney is sputtering. I don't know exactly why. We could debate lots of issues, but it is clearly not working. And the problem for Iger, and I think part of the reason he's staying, and this was our number one prediction for 2023, was that Iger would extend. And the reason or the rationale for that was turning the fortunes of content is not a quick fix. It takes time, years, to fix the content cycle. And this is going to be a long haul for Disney. It is not easy, and that's why the stock is under so much pressure.
So do you see anything else changing in the short to medium term, Rich? If that is a years-long process that the company has to go through, are there other things that Iger can do to improve the share price in the shorter term?
Well, I mean, obviously he's exploring strategic alternatives, but look, I'm not sure going out and spending $10, $11, $12 billion on Hulu, I don't think that's going to excite investors in the short term. Obviously, if they could find a strategic partner for ESPN, I think people would love to see ESPN sort of some other, some type of joint venture or something, because I think ESPN is seen as a very challenging business going forward. So, look, my major takeaway from the Iger interview this morning was he realizes they have a real problem across multiple businesses, and he's very open to exploring strategic opportunities for many of their businesses. And I think that's the major thing is we should be thinking about Disney is ready to change what it looks like in 2024 and beyond. And it may be a smaller company.